I guess maybe looking at this early game of the and reviewing it, I was against a Malphite and died early against a Volibear. And then the game was, I don't know. I didn't. We can watch the first 10 minutes of this one, but this is not my best game, and yeah.
Okay. So I'm taking a look at your runes, man.
Yeah.
What is this? Why do we have Ignite Ghost?
I generally run Ignite Flash, but I was trying Ghost out.
Okay.
I haven't
Why
really
are you
played
taking
it
lethal
much.
tempo into Malphite?
What do you usually take?
His whole thing is he reduces all of your attack speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, having something that increases your attack speed when he's just going to reduce it all by a percent, it's not good. So, what I usually take is Fleet Footwork. Have you ever checked out my spreadsheet before?
Yeah, and I often use this. I I I probably don't run Fleet Footwork into Malphite as often as I should.
You should run it 100% of the time without question.
This Malphite was running Grasp, so I didn't. I feel like if I'd, yeah, I mean, I guess Fleet Footwork's probably would have been better here.
No, it's always better. That's not like if it's in the spreadsheet and it's the only option, it is always 100% better. If I thought anything was different, depending on runes or whatever, I would put that in there. But like for this matchup, you need Fleet Fork 100%, and you need to outsustain him because no matter what, at all stages of the game, Malphite will beat you in a straight up all-in. Just because he gets damage based on armor, and he mitigates a lot of your damage because he builds armor.
Okay.
So you need to take short trades, outsustain either his mana pool, or burn him down low enough where you can burst him down and all in him.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when I'm taking a look at your games as well, like, do you always run Legend Alacrity when you take lethal? Let me take a look.
No, definitely not always.
Okay. I mean, I think if you take lethal tempo, I think you need to run Bloodline. Alacrity is a shitty run. The only time I take Alacrity is when I go Fleet Footwork. And since I have Fleet, I don't need the Bloodline since I already have Sustain with the Fleet Footwork proc and Second Wind and all that and Revitalize, right? And I don't need Tenacity in the game. If I need Tenacity, I'll take Tenacity. Otherwise, I'll take Alacrity just because it seems like the best option there. But honestly, man, you can't take Alacrity with Lethal. It's kind of troll. You need to take Bloodline, or maybe if they're very high CC that you can avoid with Tenacity, take Tenacity.
Okay.
Alright. So, taking a look at this game, I'm not going to review this one. Reason is because, the way you're going to play this is it's going to differ, totally, because you change up your runes. And here, let's take a look. You were against a Volibear top.
Is this the most recent one? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played him since the change. I wasn't sure how to play it. I went.
Okay. I've been working with this matchup a lot and trying out different stuff, and I'm gonna pass on all my knowledge to you as far as the Volibear matchup goes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I think if I had done it over, I wonder if I could have really pressured him more at level 1. I was scared by his whatever his keystone is. I forget what it's called. Plus the ignite. I wasn't sure if I would win the all-in early or not, so I just played it safe to try and scale. But he just I don't see a way to beat him later.
Okay.
Maybe if I stay more even, but.
Alright, so one, I would always take Flash. Never take Ignite Ghost. I would take Ignite Flash here. And when we're taking a look at the Volibear matchup, man, the thing is, Ignite PTA, from my experience, is the strongest against TRYNDAMERE, especially when he starts a Doran's item that isn't Doran's Ring.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alright, so you scouted. saw the invade coming, they backed off.
Yeah, I messed up the pull a little bit here, just slightly. Oh wait, no, this isn't the other game I did.
Okay, now against Volibear, this is probably best. You're gonna want to let him shove you in early.
Mm-hmm.
If he like, the only reason why you wouldn't let him shove in early is if you're able to build up Fury for free, like say if he leashes or if he's late to lane. But let the minions crash, and if you don't see him here, just start building up Fury like crazy. If he is here, then back off, let him shove you in, because you can't build up Fury without taking too much damage, letting him stack up his maul on you. Fast enough. What is this? What was that?
I was just stacking his minions just slightly on his side, so it'll push towards me.
Okay, so you that's fine. If you're gonna do that, I would suggest doing it from like go out early in the lane and pull the minions to this bush.
I agree.
Okay, so a short, like, if Malphite, or not Malphite, if Volibear starts with his E first, you can actually go pretty hard here. So his E isn't the all-in capability that makes PTA so broken with him. It's his W that applies on hits that helps him stack PTA. And
people usually start W or E.
Most people, yeah, most people start W.
Okay, I was anticipating. Like I said, I haven't played against the new Volibear hardly at all since the change. So I was expecting him to use his W, which is, if I'd known he wasn't going to do that, obviously I couldn't know that, but I would have probably started either Doran's Blade or Longsword and tried to go for the all-in.
I think starting Longsword anyways, even if you're not going to be fighting him early, is fine, because like for him to like go all in against you, he's going to be stacking up his passive, and that's going to cause him to shove in, or like maybe his E like hits a couple of your minions when he tries to go in on you too.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, if he starts E here, I think you should actually look to fight him. If he starts W, or if he's in lane like on time, like stacking up his passive early, like I would let him shove you in. This is fine.
So I have a mildly related question. We can talk about that trade in a sec. But one thing, maybe I'm more worried about this than I ought to be, but I do get concerned if they're I don't know if they're necessarily hiding in the bush, and if I start building up my rage early and get the lane shoving towards them in a matchup where I think I would lose early. For example, he would use, if he took W, I worry about pushing towards him. Sorry, do you see what I'm getting at? If I'm pushing towards him and he wins the matchup, and then I kind of feel zoned off.
If he sits in the bush and allows you to build Fury, and then he walks out and the wave's shoving towards him, fight him with your Fury.
So if I have, I think I would have like 50 Fury or so after 2 minions. Or even if I just kill one, the lane's guaranteed to push towards him, and I'd have, somewhere in the range of 30 Fury, I think. Do I all in him, or?
I mean, if we ever have that situation come up, I can tell you, but like it just depends on like other factors too. But in general, I would say yeah, probably.
Okay.
So, one thing to keep note when you're playing against Volibear is he's going to use his Q into his E and combine them together to like guarantee that the E hits. One way that TRYNDAMERE can counter this is to buffer his Q. So when you see this animation, use your spin while he's in mid-animation, and you can buffer the stun from that Q there, and like get away from his E. That's a way we can avoid taking that much damage. Either way, we should be spamming our Q here. Why are we holding on to Fury? We can't all in, right?
Yeah.
Like, we should be using Q basically instantly every time. All right, so let's talk about this play. So, should you rotate down and help Fiddlesticks with the Scuttle Crab?
I don't like being in the situation where I'm the one pushed in because it doesn't give me as much of an option. In this scenario, I don't know. In retrospect, I should probably just pinged him B as soon as I saw Volley go MIA.
Exactly. You can't help him. The fact that he's going for top Scuttle when Pike is shoved in and you're shoved in is troll. Let him die. He is being so stupid. You know? Like, you and Pike can't do anything. In fact, you and Pike both try to do something. And one, you're both late to the play because you're shoved in. And two, you both miss out on minions of experience. This is so bad from Fiddlesticks. Let him die. He needs to learn from this mistake. Like,
fair enough.
You know? Like, he needs to go for the Scuttle where, like, your bot lane shoved in, you know? Like, that's not on you guys, that's on him. Because you guys, like, played the lane, you know, like you should. And it's just not in a good spot.
Yeah, and now I'm in a really rough spot.
Yeah, if you had been shoving in the whole time, you would have gotten your reset off. Yeah. Or you would have had just such a huge minion advantage that if he walks up to you, level 3 to your level 4 with huge minion wave, you could just fight him straight up.
Yeah. I think I...
In fact, that's probably what you should have done here. Since you know he used his Ignite against the Fiddlesticks there, you know, you should try to force a trade right now while he has, while you're level 4, he's level 3.
Do you think I would have won it with his red buff?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, especially if you fight him when his stuff isn't stacked yet.
Fair enough.
But you having to, like, give up stuff here is really bad.
I think I die here shortly.
Yeah, you can't stand it. Like, you're all 5. What you should do here is you should back out, loop around, ward here to make sure Olaf isn't diving you too, and soak experience over the wall so you can get level 6. That way you can counter Volibear's dive. But if you're sitting at level 5, no fury, and like 25% HP, he's just going to press R and destroy you.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to... I'm literally, I think...
No, I know you're so close. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you look around here, make sure you get level 6 and then walk up. And
I thought I was going to be able to bait him and use ult to survive, but that's not the way it worked out.
Yeah. Having flash right here could have saved your life, too. Because you could have just flashed this and then tried to kill minions. But yeah, you just need to get your 6.
Point.
So, this is going to happen when you play against Volibears, and this is going to happen to you when you play against Renekton's. Because Renekton's going to come up level 6, you're level 5, and he's going to have his full fury and shit. Like, you need to get to level 6 first, it's priority.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't play a lot of... I kind of avoid the Tryn matchup into Renekton if I can. I generally pick Singed into him, and it's not a terrible matchup. But, yeah.
It seems like you're a little bit lost as far as how to approach, like, early game situations, and, like, I think you're confusing yourself with, like, different builds and like, runes to go, different summoner spells, whatnot. Let's do a game where I guide you from beginning to finish from champion select.